you like carve out a lot of opportunities for yourself. Like I feel like you're a go-getter.
I have to be, because when I started doing it, I was never chosen for the thing. You know?
Good to go.
Let's breathe.
Okay.
In through the nose
and out through thy mouth.
Wait.
And then just keep.
It's not that deep.
Let us know. You know. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Katie.
We made it.
Katie Is it Novotny?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Naperville, Illinois.
Wait, no.
A suburb of Chicago. Oh, you want to know my origin story? My family's ancestors?
I meant like, what's Novotny? Is it like Czechoslovakia?
It is. It's like Polish / like Czechoslovakian. There's like, everyone is always like, oh, do you know Joe Novotny? And I'm like, no, I don't know Joe Novotny. And then they're like, oh, do you know Sharon Novotny? I'm like, I don't know Sharon. And I found out in my youth that it's because Novotny in Poland is the Smith of America.
No way.
And everyone's always like, I've never heard of that before. And I was like, most people haven't.
That's really good to know, because I'm a big history nerd. As of late.
Oh, yeah, a newcomer.
I just think
you're new faces to the...
History's new faces. I'm like, Christopher Columbus. Yeah, he came on a boat.
He did.
He came on a boat. Katie, I'm just so happy to have you in my presence.
I am too. This is awesome.
We've met once.
And it was great.
It was magical.
We hit it off immediately.
We did. We met in a parking lot, which is where all love first forms.
It is. It is. It always begins in a parking lot. It was on the west side in LA.
Yeah, it was during my LA stint.
Yeah.
How long have you lived in LA for?
It's going to be 4 years in August, which is like kind of nauseating, because that's like a full like college or high school like chunk, you know?
That is, you're in your senior year of LA.
My senior year of LA. I'm graduating soon.
Do you feel like you're like the cool senior?
Definitely not. Definitely. I'm still not getting invited to the right parties, you know? But I'm okay with that.
Are you designated driving?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am the DD. You know, I'll get thrown a bone every once in a while. It does remind me of in high school. One of my friends asked me if I wanted to go over to this boy's house for this party. And I was like, oh my God, the cool kids are like finally asking me to do something. And we get there and she's like, okay, I'm actually just gonna run inside really quick. And I was like, what? So I'm sitting in that driveway for like an hour and a half. And I was like, what is going on? And they just left me in the car and hung out inside without me. And I was like, what am I doing here?
Katie, I've been with you for like 30 minutes. You have now told 2 stories that just left my mouth agape.
People can be really mean, but there's a lot of great people out there too. And you know,
you have villain origin stories.
I do. I really do.
You're not a villain by any means.
Not yet. It might be my time. I keep saying no more I gotta say no more Mr. Nice Guy. No more Mrs. Nice Guy. I'm done. I'm over it.
No, you're not, because you have a big ass heart.
I know, I can't help it. It sucks.
And maybe that is one of those things where when you're little, mean girls can like take advantage of you, but then when you're older, you find the right crew.
Yes, I would agree.
Do you feel like the people that you surround yourself with are like, do they have that same energy, or do you feel like you are a really good compliment to other people?
I think
like, are you still getting bullied?
Well, yeah, obviously I'm in comedy. You get bullied all the time. I had a comedy booker pull me aside, or in like a networking atmosphere, at a festival. I sat down to like chat with her, and the first thing she did was pull out her phone, and she goes, I have some notes about your performance. You screech, and that's a lot. You screech on stage, and it's a lot to be like that as a woman. And I said, oh my God, I'm so glad to be talking to you. And you know, so you get it, and then you just kind of move on and you spiral for a little bit, but then you find your friends and you bitch about it and be like, but we do it for the love of the game.
It's true.
And like, you're one of the reasons that like it keeps me going. It's like meeting people like you. You know, it's like the people you get to meet along the way is the best part of doing comedy.
That's a good point. And I think I agree with that. I think I'll keep you posted. And you've been in the game a bit more and you're a bit thicker in it for a while, but are you still screeching on stage?
Yeah, obviously. I will not. I have levels. I bring it out for important moments. I don't constantly screech.
You're an actress also.
Yeah.
Where you're not just, sometimes I'm very aware that a lot of the people in comedy, at least in New York, are kind of just theater kids and they have really amazing stage presence and it comes very natural. They can play a character. Whereas when I get on stage, I truly feel I'm being myself.
Yes.
And I think I want to take an acting class because I think it would benefit me a lot.
I got some recs here for you that I really like.
I would love that.
Okay. Shout out T. Schreiber.
Shout out. Is that a
studio
like one-on-one?
I don't know if they probably have one-on-ones, but I did like a couple like online courses with them during the pandemic and like right before it too. My friend recommended them to me. I really liked it.
Okay, I'll take it, and you might get a referral bonus.
Probably not, but it'll be cool. They'll be like, "Oh, cool."
They're like, "We'll take a video of you screeching."
Yeah, can you just be like, "We love T. Schreiber," and we'll post it on our Instagram.
When did you always want to be like actress, theater, espionage, etc.?
I feel like no, but like I always loved, like my mom's a drama teacher. My grandma was a singer at the Chicago Lyric Opera. She had the opportunity to be to come to New York Lyric Opera. She said no to marry my grandpa. So when I lived here and I would like talk to her on the phone, she'd be like, "You're so brave. I could never do it. I never was able to do it." And like, I feel like the combination of like my mom's side of like theater people, but then my dad's side of like immigrant hard worker, like the combination is what like is why I can do this now. I'm doing this because I don't think that like I don't want to. I'm not like needing to settle down and get married. You know, like that's not really not in my blood. I mean, I want like a family. I want like to have like love. That's crazy. It's crazy. But like, I'm not like, oh, I just want that. Like I want to be doing more. I like the stage too much.
Yeah. Where do you feel the most you?
Okay. So that literally doing stand up because I figured out that like, I can be the most me. Like, it doesn't feel like a character anymore. In the beginning, I like pretended like I was being the crazy like aunt, you know, like not like really like character-y, but I was like telling myself I was not really me on stage to say the things I wish I could say, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's amazing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna clip that.
Yeah. It's like it's not me saying this. It's like a different version of me saying this. But like now it is me saying this. These are the things I believe. These are the things that I want and need and I'm afraid of. And like people love hearing that when you're on stage. They love the vulnerability. They love the honesty. They love the levels. They love the screeching. What they don't love is when you do that in real life. They're like, shut it down. I don't want to hear how real that is. Can you shut up? Like, I really think they hate it in every other setting.
But if you're on a soapbox and you have a microphone in hand, they're like
yes. And then if you go to a dinner party and they're like, how are you doing? I'm like, honestly, pretty tough. And they're like, well, I wasn't really asking, you know? And you're like,
let me get the deviled eggs.
Yeah. Okay. Can I get you something to drink? Because like then they have to be like, I'm not doing good either.
Right. Because no one actually is.
Yeah.
And I think that that's like the essence of this podcast of like, we all are going through our own stuff. And I almost said we're all going through our own bullshit, but it's not bullshit. Like every person is going through something. They have something in their lives that at that exact moment is not giving them the happiness that they deserve.
Yes.
Or teaching them a really hard lesson and they need to adjust to it.
And this is actually one of that exact thing is why I get so frustrated in LA sometimes, because the things people get upset about. And it's also the reason I have to leave it so often. Like, I love traveling for stand-up because it reminds me that there's a real world out there and there's real people with real problems. Not that the booker wasn't at the fucking open mic. Get over yourself. Like, if you're here to just show off, then do that somewhere else. Because I have a story in relation to that, but like it really, I have to keep my blinders on out there a lot because if I'm talking to the wrong person, I'm like, I have real things I'm figuring out. I have real life, I have a real family stuff going on with my family. Like, I am trying so hard to do this thing that I love amongst the bullshit that it comes with. Because if you go into this industry thinking there's not going to be that, you're a fool. Like, it is not fair. It is pay to play. It is about who you know. It's rarely about talent. And so if you pretend like it's not those things, and then you get mad when the thing that is gonna happen happens, and the person who gets the thing that they don't deserve gets the thing that, like, it's almost like you're almost being foolish. Like, we know the game. So do you want to learn how to play it your way, or do you want to get mad at the way that it exists? Right? Like, you have to pick one or else don't do it.
It also is like you're going through your own, you, me, anyone else is going through their own internal struggles with life, and then you're also maybe not struggling, but also trying to navigate the comedy world.
Yes.
Whereas some people with like their champagne problems, they're like, oh my God, my car got towed and I have to like try to get here for a spot at 10 p.m. And I think it's really difficult not to explode.
Yes, absolutely. That's why we're all very mentally ill that we're even
Very
doing this.
Medicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoloft, shout out Zoloft.
I'm a Lexapro girl, and I'm going to get...
That's like the luxury one.
Yeah, I don't know why. It should be Lexapro.
I would know. I was like, when I first got on antidepressants, I found out that all my friends were on Lexapro, and then I got prescribed something else, and I was pissed. I was like, I want the cool one. What the hell?
God doesn't want you to be cool.
It's like, what? Why is everyone not getting the good stuff?
Yeah.
I'm on Cymbalta. It sounds horrible. It sounds like a syphilis drug. I was pissed.
You're trying to get like underground Lexapro.
I'm like going around like, you got the good stuff? And they're like, I want that Lexapro.
They're like Ritalin or Coke. And you're like, are you insane?
Yeah.
I want the hard stuff.
The hard stuff.
Where's your sexy Lexi?
Exactly.
I think also like with family stuff, like we've been open with each other. I obviously talk a lot on this podcast just about like when you have someone in your family that's not healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, anything. When you have someone in your life that's not 100%, it's a lot.
Yes. It's a constant, it's one of those things where, and like that, this goes back to, I remember when my mom broke her leg for the third time, I found out when I was at an open mic, and it was like one of those ones that you're supposed to like get seen by the booker. It was that. And there was these girls that were so mad about it and talking about being so rude to the hosts of the mic on stage and like throwing them under the bus, disrespecting everyone's time, not even doing actual jokes, reading from their notes app because the booker wasn't there. And I just found out that my mom is, for context, she has a disability. It's called transverse myelitis. She hasn't walked in 5 years. She has been using a cane. She used a walker before that, a cane before that, since I was in 7th grade. It happened right around 9/11. Respect. I will never forget it because she was throwing a 9/11.
In 2001, you weren't in 7th grade.
I was in 7th grade.
Katie, you're my age. No, you're 27 years old.
In my head, I am.
Wait, you have the youngest energy.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Mentally, you're 27 to me. Wait, I'm literally doing the math. I'm like, wait, in 2001, you were 4.
No, I wish I was 4.
Wait, this is hysterical. I love this. Are you 50 years old?
I am actually 65. I just got my senior card. I had early breakfast for free.
Wait, I'm dead. I love this.
I know. I
know. Okay. So sorry. In 2001, you were in 7th grade.
I was in 7th grade, and my mom threw a benefit concert for it, and I remember her walking into the benefit concert like unable to walk and like having to lean on my dad. And I remember being like, guess I gotta go sing about terrorism. And like my mom's like fucked up right now. Like I was like, something's going on, but we have a country to save. And like, it's so weird. It's so weird that it's like it's cemented in my brain like that.
Right. Right. But that's how you remember it. And those are your memories.
Everyone's always like, never forget. And I'm like, I haven't.
Yeah. You're like, we're still dealing.
We're still dealing with it. So she breaks her leg again. I'm like, this is bad news bears. Like during the pandemic, she broke it for the first time. Then we had to change the whole house to be ADA accessible. Luckily, I lost my job and moved home. So I got to help my dad do all of that.
Wait, when you were in 7th grade?
No, this was in pandemic pandemic times, the first time she broke it. Sorry, I might have skipped over that. I had a lot of tea today. So
No.
I'm a little caffeinated.
No, I love it. You're jittery bug.
Mm-hmm.
When you were in middle school, like, did you understand what was happening?
No, not really. I did like a paper on it, like for like a science project, because my uncle had MS, and then like over the years, your dad has MS.
Yeah, he's on Copaxone.
Oh,
so he takes a shot every day. So he's
when did he get diagnosed?
In good hands, we think.
Yeah.
But he got diagnosed when he was like 38.
Yeah, it's like it happens early.
It happens early, and
it's crazy.
The signs, from what I understand, like he lost his vision.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No.
Like,
oh my gosh.
But please continue.
That's so scary.
Was your dad? Wait, who has MS? Oh, your mom's brother.
My mom's brother. But then it started, he passed away when he was like in his like 60s. And like, because they diagnosed him when he was like in his 20s. So like, they didn't know enough at the time. Like they were like saying that it also might be transverse myelitis, because then a couple other people from that same area, it's like an Aaron Brockovich situation. Like another one of my mom's classmates got it too. And like, he's dealing with it now. And it's like, there's all these like little cases popping up from around that area of Riverside, Illinois.
So myelitis, so it has to do with the myelin sheath.
Oh my God. Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you a scientist?
No, but like I
can't believe you just pulled that shit out. I've had to explain this so many times and no one understands it. And they usually hear like trans and then like think my mom like turned into my dad, you know? They're always like, oh, trans, good for her, him. I'm like, no, just physical disease. Horrible disease.
You're like, and way to pivot.
Yeah.
But like, no, I know myelin sheath just from like, you know, I was a bio major for like a semester.
Oh my God,
and
that's sick.
They were like, you are better in journalism.
Yes, journalism. Welcome to the dying side. You should have stuck with it. Yeah. But like it essentially, like for the lay person, the way I explain it, because the myelin sheath gets like broken down, right? Your brain, the messages that go from your brain to the rest of your body kind of get blocked because there's like a blockage on the spine. So the neurons that are like, hey, move your left leg, it just gets to like move and you can't get the left leg going. It like stops. So it's hard to like get all of those messages, like her extremities, her legs, like her fingers are getting bad. Like she drops stuff a lot, which like we all drop stuff, you know? I drop stuff all the time. We drop our earphones in the subway grate.
Down the subway grate. But it's not because we can't.
Yeah, but she like can't feel it. So like also like if she there was like she actually like, was like cooking. She can't really cook anymore, but when she used to be able to, she'd like burn herself and be like, oops, like because she couldn't feel it, which is kind of cool, but not good.
Because you live at home now.
I have.
What's the latest? Because
there's a lot of updates.
Also, isn't it funny how you've probably experienced so many emotions, hard days, bad feelings, yet you can just talk as it's a fact of like what has happened to your poor mom.
That's
like
literally crazy. Yeah.
To your family. Like that is a really like shocking and upsetting thing to happen to somebody.
I know. And I feel like my little sister, she's just turned 30. She's turning 31. She's getting married. She has a house. It's fine. I'm cool.
She doesn't need to brag about it.
Yeah. Sometimes I just like when she's talking to me, I'll just like stare at her engagement ring and I'm like, that's the biggest thing I've ever seen in my entire. That's the biggest time I've ever seen in my life. It's gorgeous.
But you might get new earphones. So
I might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody
maybe next paycheck.
Everybody has their thing.
Yeah. I'm moved in with roommates. I have a sublet in LA now, so I can go back and forth easier to like help. So like I'm basically in Naperville for like 3 weeks in June, then I'll be back for all of August for my sister's wedding and like be a second set of hands and stuff like that.
Do you feel like, what are things that you experience on the daily? Are you feeling guilty? Are you feeling like you're missing things? Are you feeling like you want to get away? Also, I'd like, let me know if that's
Here's
too much
the thing.
to ask.
Yes. The answer is yes to all of them. When I'm home, I'm like, I'm missing everything in LA. When I'm in LA, I'm like, I'm missing everything at home. So it's like I constantly have to work at it, and I'm getting better. I'm getting better at it. I think this choice of moving, because after the fires in January, they're like, pack your go bag, pack everything that's important to you. And I was like looking around my apartment, and I was like, let it burn, baby. I was like, I don't give a shit about anything in here. And I was like, and with all of Hollywood kind of like crumbling and trying to figure out what happens next, like, I was like, why am I've never wanted to settle in LA. So we need to start thinking about what this means, like long term. And then like 2 weeks later, I found out she was going in for hip replacement surgery, because the last surgery didn't take, because her bones are so soft from everything that when they tried to fix it, it didn't work. Like there was all these problems. So I was like, so then I go home for all of February, and I'm on, me and my dad are like, and my sister are all splitting like everything. But my sister was there for like the first half. So I was like, she was like trying to like take a break and like recharge. And I came in, we're trying to like shift around. My brother's in the middle of like about to be like his wife, my sister-in-law, is having a baby. So like there's like, and he's in Florida. So it's like a whole, we're trying to figure it out. So all of February, I'm like, oh, I should be, I'm doing caretaking. I'm in caretaking mode, but I'm like, oh, I should be also going to the city to do an open mic. And I'm like, and one of my friends was like, no, you shouldn't. This is not the time for an open mic in the city. And I was like, no, yeah, you're right. So it's like trying to figure out what LA has taught me is that like, I really don't want to give up on this dream. I love it so much because it does make me feel the most like myself. And when I go too long without a show, without writing, without making something, I get very sad, and I am like an angsty and like kind of mean and bored. So I'm like, how do I keep this going while also like looking at the reality of like my parents are in their like late 60s now. My mom's not going to get up and walk again one day. So like, do I want control over when I move home? Do I want to spend time with her when she's great still? Like she's full recovery. She's doing great. Would I rather have more memories of that or wait till the absolute last moment, which is the story I hear all the time, where it's like they're at their fucking death's door and that's when you go back and you only get X amount of times left with them.
It's so raw. Like the way you speak about it is just so matter of fact.
I have been thinking about it for like probably a year and a half. Like all of this has been like bubbling. Like I don't think I could have said this like this a year and a half ago. I think I would have been in shambles. Like I take a long time to process things. And so like once I do and I like have a plan, it's like, okay, we have a plan. Here's a logical way to do this. Like there's a way to be there for the people you love the most that you can't fit in a go bag in LA. They're not there. Like I want to be able to pop over to my sister's house and go for a walk on a random Tuesday. I want to take the dog for a walk with my dad randomly. I want to be home for more than just the big, I don't want like it only to be Father's Day where we're hanging out, and I don't get that in LA. It's too far. They're too far.
Do you feel like you are or will be able to find that balance of, I know you want to and you will be in commercials and movies, and do you feel like you're able to balance like what you really want? You want both things. And I think that's so, I thank you for your vulnerability because like most people don't need to choose.
No, because a lot, and that's I think that's why I have a hard time like finding the right people to hang out with because a lot of people in LA left because they couldn't be around their families, because their families didn't accept them, because their families were not supportive or weren't supportive of their career choice, their life choices, who they are as a person, whatever it may be. But that's the opposite for me. So like I'm like, oh, I want to go, I'm going home. And they're like, you're always home. I'm like, yeah, because I like my home. I'm very happy with my home. It's great. And it's like I chose to leave a good thing, which is like, that's where the guilt comes in, where I'm like, God, I'm such a piece of shit. I got so many people would kill for this. People would kill for what I got back there, you know? And I'm like, I feel like I want a little bit more. But it's not, if I could do, I'm trying to figure out, I'm submitting to like Chicago agents and like also LA agents to be like, can I do this here? And like, that's like what part of all doing a bunch of stand-up festivals last year was too, to try to meet and make my network as big as possible. I'm nowhere near making a salary that I could in comedy that I could like quit my day job, but like, and that I think is the scariest part with what's going on right now is like when I started doing this, when I was a young lad, I like there was a path and it's so different now. And so it's like part of the other thing of like moving into the sublet was like the only way to be long lasting in this industry is to, one, be adaptable, two, to have cash flow to make your own shit, and three, like still find ways to still like it. Like you constantly have to be curious and find new ways to like it because new things pop up that make it the thing you liked worse. And then you're like, okay, well, I don't like how they're doing it anymore over there. So how do I like, so if I have less overhead from a rent perspective, like I wasn't living by myself. I was paying like $3,000 and it was like with utilities included because it kept climbing and climbing and climbing.
That's
and
a lot.
I was also like working I had like four full-time freelance clients. And then I was like doing stand-up and traveling and doing auditions in between. And I was exhausted. And I was like, this isn't sustainable. So the only way is like to reduce overhead. So it's like now this rent and utilities is like $1,000. So it's like, so I have money to come here, you know, and be with the people that I met all of last year and like build on those relationships. Because like some of the people I met last year, you included, I'm like, these people are amazing. And I want to keep having them in my life somehow. Like, that's the best part of doing festivals is the people you meet. Again, it goes back to that, right?
Yeah. You like carve out a lot of opportunities for yourself. Like, I feel like you're a go-getter.
I have to be, because when I started doing it, I was never chosen for the thing. You know? I was never on a Herald team. Did you do the IO or UCB stuff?
No.
It's an MLM scheme / a cult. But
there is something very appealing about a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. Obviously, it works for so many suburban women and also tall, lanky white men who love wearing flannel in the city of New York. And
they're just not funny also.
They're never funny.
I'm like, who told you were funny?
They're corporate funny.
Yeah.
Someone at their day job told them they were funny. I gotta get some water.
Get some Wawa.
And it's unbelievable.
Get some Wawa. I wanted to touch on, also, Arthur, are we good on time still?
Yeah.
Cool. Don't we love that?
We love it.
Thank you. So you said a lot of good things. I need to start bringing a notepad.
Okay, great.
Because the first thing I wanted to say,
I'm not really fully sure what I said, so that's good to know. You know, it's kind of one of those like
good to black out without alcohol.
Yeah, I do it often.
Yeah, me too. Like every time I go on stage, I come off, I'm like, what happened?
What happened?
I'm like, what did I say and what'd you like?
Yep.
Did anyone laugh?
Yep.
Like liking your family is rare.
It is.
And I think also when you go through these moments of like real hardship with them, it can go one of two ways.
100%. It'll either break you down or it'll build you up.
And like create a bond that is stronger than anything else.
Yeah. And it's not easy. No. It's never easy because you're not only dealing with regular family dynamics, you're dealing with family dynamics on top of a constant emergency.
Yeah.
It's like there's constantly like, it's like you'll be going back, like there's so many things in our house that is like that my mom needs to function on a day-to-day basis that like she's reliant on. If her scooter battery isn't charged, it's chaos mode. If she gets if her car gets stuck, like because like the mechanic thing gets stuck, now my dad's got to find a way to solve that, and then I got to take over what my dad was doing. You know, it's like there's, and you're trying to just like be cool, like be a normal person on top of it. So you have so many things as a family that you're navigating together. And then you're all also adults that do things their own way.
It takes a village.
Yeah, man.
But you like your village, and it's a good village, and people shouldn't question why you're going home. Like, I think you're balancing as best that you can. It's very, very impressive. I remember the first time that I saw you do stand up. Well, the only time I met you. You talked about your mom being in a wheelchair. And I was like, that's so interesting. Like, do you joke? Do you have a lot of jokes about it? Is that your way of like,
I'm trying.
Was that just like a one-off that I saw?
It was. I was like trying to, I'm trying to talk about it more. That place we were at is not the place to try those jokes.
Wait.
Is what I learned.
Interesting. Why?
They're too soft. I think they're all too privileged, to be very honest.
It was a privileged group.
They don't know what it's like to have any type of people in their orbit that are slightly different. So like even just being like, my mom is disabled, they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. You're like, fuck off, dude. Are you kidding me? Like, that's not it's like, it feels like the same like I talk about my dad. My dad's so down for me to make fun of him. And my dad's a Republican, and I joke about it and how insane he is. But he's also my mom's full-time caregiver and has been since this whole thing started. So he's a complicated man. He will do anything for her. And he volunteers at a food pantry. Did I say this joke? I don't remember.
No, hit me.
I go, my dad is a Republican, so he raised me as his son. And then like I talk about how we like talk every day, but he watches Fox News. But he also volunteers at a food pantry twice a week, which is objectively good. Overall, it's very confusing though, because there's a part of him that's like, yeah, let's build that wall.
Yeah.
But then the other part of him is like, but if you make it over, I do have sandwiches.
Yeah. That's a really good joke.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ellie hates it because they're like, ew, a Republican? And I'm like, the fact that you don't is a problem. Like,
the
you are so
ones.
lucky. You are so lucky to only have met very progressive liberal people that think exactly like you do. But a lot of us out there have had to navigate life with people with a lot of different values and a lot of different points of view on things and still like go about our days, like, and interact with them on a day-to-day basis. And if you don't know how to do that, like, I can't say that any of those jokes in LA, people like their buttholes tighten up. And so like when I was talking about my mom, I had a joke about like, I tried to do the, my mom has transverse myelitis, and lately people just hear, which is like a very bad neurological disease, but lately they just hear trans and think and jump to conclusions, like, and like I like versions of that punchline,
right?
But they like hate that I'm even like joking about trans, and I'm like, I'm not joking about trans people. I'm joking about the trend and the word itself. It's the word. It's a joke on the word, not anything else.
You can't convince them otherwise because it's a mob mentality.
Exactly,
they're terrifying.
Exactly.
Have you tried them in New York?
Not yet, but I'm really excited to like, part of what I wanted to come here was to see what my current like showcase set, how that feels.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, as I'm working on like newer stuff, like maybe I come here more and do more stuff here and in Chicago, like, because I think there's more people here that would understand the breadth of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's more people you interact. Everyone's so different here. There's so many different types of people that you are with every single fucking day, And for the most part, there is like a unity, like there is that same like liberal progressiveness, but there's more of an understanding, I think. At least that's how I remember when I lived here. It felt like that.
Wait, and when did you live here?
2018 to 2020.
Oh, right before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was like just getting out of bringer shows right before the pandemic. So I was like very new.
So I love hearing people's stand-up journey because sometimes I'm so confused, like if I even have one. Because like,
I know exactly what you mean.
People, like when you said showcase, I'm like, I don't have that. Like, and I'm not comparing myself, but I am just increasingly more aware of like, is stand-up actually something that I see myself doing in 10 years? Like,
what does it feel like when you're on stage?
It feels so good, but I feel so good right here.
Okay.
Like I think that when it comes to writing, if I get in the zone, I get really excited to be doing it. but I'm lacking some like confidence in my joke writing.
That's fair and normal. And it takes years to get confidence with there's a difference between being confident in your like in this type of presence and being like, I prepared something and it's like my deepest feelings and now I have to say it in front of you guys, and if you don't like it, I'm gonna be so sad. And it takes a while. It takes a while, but that's also why I like tricked myself into being like, it's not you doing it. It's just an elevated version of you. And it was like, I treated it as like a performance. Like I still have like a performer like mentality on stage, but it's like, it's way more me. It's way more me. And it just is reps. It's reps, dude.
Yeah, I think the reps part is like, do I want to be putting in the reps? Like, do I see that as how I want to be spending my time, my able-bodied, my precious time, like in New York right now?
Have you ever taken like a smaller, like women's only like workshop or class?
I need to.
Because I think there's a lot of pros for doing that, especially in the beginning, because everyone needs a place to feel confident enough to try. And when I started doing open mics here, it was right when Me Too was happening, when it first started. So every fucking open mic I went to was some fucking loser saying how women deserved to be raped. And like, I was like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Me looking for the audacity.
Yeah. I was like, I can't be in this space. So I took solace in like women's only workshops. And I just was like, and just being able to be like, I'm with 6 women. We're going to spend 3 hours. We're going to talk about stuff we want to talk about and talk about how we make a story into a punchline. You have your 10-minute version of it for storytelling and for long form. And then you say, how do I cull this down into what's the most important parts? Right?
I need that. I think I went into it and I just was like, I know how to tell story funny. and I can bring 30 people.
That's good. Yeah. That's two things you very much need. So it's like, if you know how to tell a story and you know how to be comfortable on stage, you're a leg up. Right?
Yeah.
But it's like, but the joke writing part is like, and I also look back at some of my like original jokes and I'm like, ew. But you have to go through the ew to get like this showcase set. I only call it that because whenever I would get a spot at a festival that was 10 minutes, I was like, it took me to figure out, this is what I want to do. This is the one that works. This is the order that works. Out of this whole thing, this is what I like to, this is the most me. This is the most storytelling that I like to do. This is whatever. And it took a long, long time to get there.
I could talk to you about that for hours,
but
I want to focus on you.
We really can. Let's have more.
Yeah, let's eat a black and white cookie. Katie brought cookies. Katie, like when you are prepping for shows, you have 2 tonight?
I have 3 tonight. They said that you could do it. And I said, I don't know. And they said, you just lean into the chaos. And I said, okay.
You said if I can make it here, I can make it anywhere. It's up to you, Katie Novotny.
It is up to me.
What times?
8:30, and 11.
What do you mean 8:30, 8:30?
Yeah.
Oh, like both shows?
Both shows are at 8:30, but I'm going up early on the first and late on the second.
Okay.
And they're kind of close.
Wait, you're living like such a fun little...
I'm living a really fun life right now.
So like do you like mingling at these things? What's your process?
I actually do. I'm a fucking sucker for a mingle. And I know that's not popular. I love talking to people so bad. And like, if I leave with like one new friend, I'm set, you know?
I love a mingle.
I do. Cause like, I'm like, what's the point if you're just like going up and like, it's all about it's the people. So that's why I was like kind of sad that I have like back-to-backs because I won't be able to like hang with people that much. Yeah. But I'm doing the best I can. And everyone was like, if you go like and come here to do shows, like book as much as you can. That's the point of doing shows here. So I was like, all right. I just remembered someone that I was supposed to text back.
Do you want to text them?
No, it's too late. She's gone. She's in Chicago now.
Okay. Do you want like 2 seconds to think about it?
No, we were trying to meet up on Wednesday, and then she had to go into the office. A lot of people still going to the office here, or everyone's going back.
Thursday.
What's going on?
I don't know.
What the hell is going on out here?
People are just like trying to get us back to normal, and I'm like, when this Cucamonga's in office, nothing's normal.
Yeah. What are you guys doing?
Like, also the girls are fighting. Like, I'm obsessed.
I love it so much.
It's like, bring out the burn book.
So, yes. And they're gonna.
They're gonna.
Because they're too immature. They're so immature. And they're too powerful.
Have you ever, like, said a really harsh rumor about your friend?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I'm trying to think. Like, I have one friend who, I found out that boys were calling a walrus.
Oh, no.
In middle school, and I told her. And I think that's the meanest thing that I've ever done.
Yeah. Well, like, you're like, I have to do the like, my duty.
I thought I was being a good friend.
Yeah. I can see that.
Okay, Katie, I'm like, enough, Dana.
I want to see. I'm trying to think if I don't think so.
I don't think you have. Like, I think you're just like a sweet baby angel.
I mean, I can be not, but it takes a lot for me to like get there, you know?
Wait, I have a fun, like, what if?
Great.
Okay, so let's say you were offered tomorrow, because you're amazing, like a Netflix special. Oh, Katie, I'm not done.
Okay. Yeah.
Or you got to star in a movie. What are you choosing?
Movie.
Oh, that was so easy for you.
Well, I'm in my acting era right now because I did so much stand-up last year and I kind of burned myself out with like traveling and everything. And I'll be honest, I was a little butthurt that I was like, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
I went how many places and I'm still at the same fucking place. So I'm like, fuck that. But no, I think like any other time it'd be a really hard choice. But like right now, there's something about acting where it like I get to be so much goofier than being on stage, because like I get to like do like really weird like physicalities and like silent jokes that I don't really, and maybe one day I'll be able to figure out how to like work it into my act. But like I don't know. I did a short film in November where I got to play a spy, or she was a janitor who like acted like she was a spy, which is even better. And I got to wear a mullet and like a jumpsuit, and I had like tattoo sleeves, and like it was one of the most fun shoots I've ever been a part of. Shout out Frank's List. It's in post right now. Christina's a genius. It was one of those roles where I was like, I can't believe I get to do this. This role was like written for me. Like, and it was just like, it's so fun to like play. It's so playful. It's like so playful. So like, and I feel like I'm almost like, I'm not saying I'm a serious stand-up by any fucking means. By any means. And I play on stage in other ways, but it's just like a different silliness I get to do. That's really fun.
I love that, and the way you describe it, even like the way your voice changes and the way you like, you love it, and that's so beautiful.
And I get to like use my crazy eyes, and it's like really fun, and like be gross. I
like no. I feel like we should wrap up.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry.
No.
I was trying to be more chill about it.
I was clocking on it too.
We're like basically done. Just like doing some closing remarks.
Our closing remarks.
Katie Novotny.
Peace be with you.
I cannot thank you enough.
This was amazing.
We could keep going for hours.
Yeah, we could. If only the 6 o'clock also went to the wrong location.
I know. I'm like, go to Midtown, bitch. Where can everyone find you?
At Kath Novotny. It's my full name is Kathleen. I made my Instagram before I started doing comedy. My nickname with my friends from home is Kath. Because they found out one of my friends' moms found out that my full name was Kathleen and not Catherine, and she was like, "Why aren't we calling you Kath? And why we call you Katie?" And
she said, "I'm gonna make history."
She made fucking history.
I thank you so much for coming on Not That Deep, and
this was amazing. I loved it. Mwah.
We really made